Hey everyone, welcome back to IGN Live at Gamescom 2015, brought to you by Homefront The Revolution. I'm Daniel Krufer, and you're John, and you're Sebastian from the FIFA team. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us. So we're going to do two things today. We're going to go through FUT first and talk about a big change coming there, and then we're going to see an entire match played out. So, John, let's start with FUT, should we?
Yeah, so this is one of our big new modes for FIFA this year. We're introducing a brand new way to play FUT. So,
okay, so for people who might not be in the know, FUT is FIFA Ultimate Team.
Yeah,
it's like an insanely popular way of playing FIFA.
Yeah, it's by far our most popular mode. We have a huge amount of people that play it each week, a great community around it. And we've been looking at Ultimate Team for the last few years, trying to figure out, we've done a lot of great features and upgrades throughout the year, but this is really a huge innovation for us. It's the biggest new way to play FUT that we probably delivered since FIFA 09.
Okay.
So how it works is you basically have, it's a competition structure. You can choose from single player or online. In this case, we're playing our demo that we have here at Gamescom, so we're playing single player. How it starts off is you basically get to choose from 5 formations. So this is what you see here. The people that we have playing for us right now will choose from a formation. Let's see. Every time that you come into draft, you're going to have to choose from a different formation. Next up, you see, is a reveal of our captains. So these are 5 different players. They're kind of top tier players. You see that we have Neymar there, which is a great player to kind of build your team from. Ultimate Team's all about building great chemistry. So in the top right of the screen, you see rating as well as chemistry. There's kind of this yin and yang with, you want to have the great players in your team, but you also want to build a team with great chemistry. You build great chemistry by matching up players with the same nationality, having players with the same league or club. So as we kind of go through this, one of the big things as you pick the different players and you start building out your team is who you're going to pick. So I'm reading through the screen here. Every time we play this mode, we literally have people.
Yes, I'm thinking I want Lucas there.
Yeah. So it's constant banter. We kind of have, we'll be playing it in the studio, and we'll literally have people come around the screen, and people will be picking and choosing who we should pick. So for here, okay, so we've got a Brazilian there.
See a preview?
Yeah, so you can do preview, which is nice too, by pressing X button on Xbox. You can quickly see how is that player going to impact you in that position.
You're not committed to that decision.
Yeah, you're not committed. You kind of see exactly what that's going to mean.
What are the most powerful factors? Is it nationality, or are they all kind of equally weighted?
Well, if you play for the same club, because that's a club and a league link, that's going to be the most powerful. Okay. League and nationality are about the same. As I go through here, so who have we picked so far? Oh, see, it's always so hard to know, should you go for the rating or should you go for that link? That's going to be a 39 chemistry. Okay, let's go to, that seems pretty good.
So it's trying to tap into the idea that the best players don't always make the best team necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. So as you're going through your starting 11, it's really key to try and figure out what kind of team are you going to build. So what we found is usually you'll start building a specific league. So you might start off with the English Premier League. In this case, we started out with the Spanish league. But sometimes you'll pull a really great player as you go through this draft process. And you might have to switch your strategy because now you want to build that team around that next best player.
I don't know if you watched our video of announcing Ultimate Team of Carragher and Neville. Right now, I feel like one of them because I want to go there and just.
You want to stand up and start pointing at the screen.
Like, what are you doing? How can you pick that player instead of the other one?
I don't think we have that functionality available.
Yeah, no. So as you're going through this process, it's really key to maximize chemistry, maximize rating, because that's going to give you the most potential in gameplay.
So if you let me interrupt you, so the beauty of these as well is the ability to play very quickly with players that are extremely difficult to get in the normal Ultimate Team. So for people that never try the mode, it's really excellent to learn about chemistry, to learn about what good players can give you. And for experienced players, so beyond the rewards that they get, it's also about, okay, so I never tried, for example, Mascherano, and maybe they really like him, so it's a good way for searching, okay, what are the players that you really want for your Ultimate Team squad?
Absolutely. I think in many ways it's almost a distillation of what Ultimate Team is in a much shorter, compact form.
Give people like a taster of it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They get sucked in because it's kind of an investment. You know, you make a big investment in FUT.
Yeah, exactly. You get to kind of test drive some of these players, and what we found as we've gone through it is you end up building squads that you would have never thought of before, because of the choices that you're put forward with. So once you have your squad, then you basically compete in online or single player for rewards. So we're just going to complete our squad here with the subs and reserves. So these are almost like wild players. These are players that you can go back to your starting 11 and kind of improve. We've done a great job building a really high chemistry team, 81 rating. That's pretty good. Make some strategic improvements that we've just got from our subs and reserves slots.
But it really, so when you get the subs and the reserves, it gives you that second chance, so it doesn't feel as harsh when you didn't get a good pick in one of those other choices.
And also managers as well.
Yeah, so the last piece on completing your club is choosing your manager. So we're quickly previewing to see, okay, who's going to be impacted by this. So different players on the pitch based on the nationality are going to get chemistry boosts, so they're going to perform better in the game. And then once you've done that, then there's a quick summary screen, so you can quickly see what are my top players, where are my ratings across different areas. That squad rating is key, so combination of team chemistry and team rating. And there you have it. So from here, you basically then go into the full gameplay with this club. So if you're playing online, you'd be competing against another draft squad. If you're playing single player, then you play against the AI. And how it works is it's basically a win streak model. So even if you lose, so you basically enter a FUT draft with coins with FIFA points, or there's a new draft token that we built. So those are accessible in packs. You might be able to pull those, and that gives you entry into these competitions. Even if you lose your first match, you're still going to get that value back. But if you're able to put together a few wins, you're going to see way better prizes come out in the end. So a very rewarding mode for sure.
Great.
And super fun as well. So it's really, when you play with your mates, sitting on a Friday night, something like that, is the banter that can come out of that is fantastic.
So we've segued here. We've just set up a match scene as we're in Germany. We've picked Borussia Mönchengladbach, and who else did we pick? Dortmund. So yeah, was that a new training game as well?
Yes. So here what we have as well, the first thing that you see is Gladbach Stadium. So that's new into FIFA. We have 9 new stadiums this year. But the other thing is the Bundesliga overlay graphics.
Okay, yeah. So it's authentic like the Premier League, which you already had.
Yeah, exactly. So last year we did the Premier League. We got fantastic feedback out of that. And this year, so we managed to create the Bundesliga graphics that really puts you...
Yeah, the Premier League stuff is so good. It just gives you that... You can't even distinguish it.
It's the ultimate immersion. Yeah. But it's not just about the graphics. So there are tons of different details here and there. For example, chants. So there is nothing as immersive as hearing the crowds, like a super loud. And this year we added more than 900 chants, from teams all over the world. It really feels impressive.
How do you add them? Do you actually record them at stadiums, or do you
there are specific requirements on how we capture the crowd. So we need to capture different channels, etc. So we work in general with the broadcasters to get the audio, and then it's a licensing thing, so you need to identify that is like a profanity free, those kind of things, and license the melody. So
obviously that gets rid of about 90% of all football chants immediately.
Well, not really. They can be edited as well. But it's a really awesome thing, hearing the chants and at the right moments, because we do that. So good chance they play when you're playing well. Oh, that was
really quite
nice
good header.
Yes. And so he's going to celebrate. No, he didn't reach the camera, because we have new celebrations as well. And some of those, when you can run directly to the cameraman that they're having the handycam around there, and you do stuff for the camera, and you see that, or you can go and celebrate with the subs. But we can talk a little bit more about
general
gameplay now.
Yeah, is there anything like in FIFA 15 that you kind of wanted to address going into 16 particularly?
Yeah, the main piece of feedback that we got was that when playing online, players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Bale, like super speedy wingers, they were extremely difficult to stop.
Yeah.
And we took that to heart, and this year one of the key words for us was balance. We really, truly wanted to have a game that felt balanced all over the pitch, but it not only balanced all over the pitch, it was innovating all over the pitch. So we have what we call confidence in defense. A lot of work went into defense with defending agility, that is adding a lot of animations and improvements and polishing here and there to actually counter those situations of Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo.
So you're giving people, when they're defending, more tools to kind of combat that, because you can do second tackles.
Exactly. So we have a new tackling mechanic. So when you slide tackle, so when you're on the ground, you can press it again, and the player will get up.
Yeah.
So it really brings slide tackle to become useful again.
Yeah.
In a sense, it was a hit or miss. So people stopped using it a bit because it was too harsh, the punishment for missing it. But now with this extra opportunity, in a sense, you want to use it again. But it's not just about that. The players are much more intelligent in terms of deciding or realizing when there is going to be a ball possession change, so they come back faster to position. They are much smarter into deciding to mark space or the man. And in terms of the midfield and defending as well, they are much more aggressive for what is the interception intelligence, what we call. So they're really, really covering those passing lanes. So the game is no longer, so the midfield is no longer a transit zone, but it's really battle for possession again.
Yeah, because I've played the game a few times, and you find that when the ball zips through midfield, you'll find a midfielder will stick out a leg, as they would do.
Yeah.
They don't just let it go by them.
Yeah, it's true to real life, and really wanted to bring that battle for possession back. But what that allows as well, so defending became so powerful that it allowed us to innovate into the attack. So one of those is passing with purpose. That is to counter those interceptions. So it's a new type of pass that is a low pass, very strong, that is, okay, I want to send it to this particular guy, but the pass receiver needs to be in a good position, because otherwise that first touch is not that good, so it has a lot of error. It really brings a lot of all of the pieces together to make it really balanced.
Is that a modifier to a regular pass?
It's
Can you
that
do it
modifier. It is on 2 or right back.
Okay.
And yes, it's when you pass it, they are doing it right now, so you see how strong it is, and it really feels awesome. But
Can you do that on a through ball as well, or is it just?
No, it's just
regular?
with the normal
pass.
ground pass. But in addition to that, into the attack, it's about creating more moments of magic. I think we're going to see another feature now, that is, if it wasn't a penalty, the vanishing spray. This is used in
This became
a
so
lot
famous
of
at
the
the
leagues
World
now.
Cup.
Yes. So okay, we don't have it in the scene there, but you can see the referee walking to the wall and just doing that. So these little touches that really make the game much more authentic and immersive. They are fantastic. And as I was mentioning, in the attack, the other fantastic thing that we did, the other innovation, is what we call no-touch dribbling. So we got inspired in Messi. So Leo Messi is a player that when he dribbles, one of the things that he does particularly well is, without touching the ball, just moving his body, doing body feinting, to leave players behind. And we took note of that, and we watch a lot of football in the office. So we are from all over the world, and we watch every single league that you can imagine. And we wrote down okay, so let's watch League 2, League 1 in England. Argentinian First Division is what I watch, and we were really noting, okay, every player, regardless of how good they are, they do it. So they do that kind of no-touch dribble, is how we call it. And so Messi, Neymar, they do it all the time in a brilliant way. But you go to a League 2 game and you will see somebody doing it. And we say, okay, we need to do this. We need to do this into the game. And with a modifier, when you're dribbling as well, you do this no-touch. Let's see if the guys can get it while playing. It's particularly effective when sprinting, but it has multiple layers. So you see how he was moving the body a bit. You need to do it like in precise moments.
Yeah.
So for
Well,
being
I've played it a
effective.
few times, and it allows you to like body swerve and kind of fake people out as
Yeah.
well if you want to use it at a very high level.
Yes, so it has a lot of different layers, so it will take some time to master, but it really feels fantastic when you leave players behind with that. So overall, so innovation all over the pitch is what we say that because really that's how we feel it. It's a really truly balanced game. We're very, very happy of the state of it. We also did a lot of different improvements in the goalkeepers. You know, there was another area of feedback that we got last year. We were very proud of what we did last year.
Because you did a lot of work on goalkeepers last
Yes,
year.
it was free-writing the goalkeeper. That is not easy thing. So the goalkeeper makes a mistake and you're done. But very proud of what we did. So it allows us now to really go deeper with it. So we did a huge swipe of like videos on that the community was sending us to just go every single issue, getting our embedded QA team, reproducing in our testbed, and just improving and fixing and polishing the hell out of all.
So it's
all
quite
of
hard
those.
in the new game, as I understand it, to like kind of trick keepers. Like if they're backtracking to their line, the ball might not go over their head. They can tip it while running backwards.
Yeah, we didn't have enough coverage of animation in those situations. That's what we found out after reproducing all the issues over and over. And so we went into the motion capture studio and captured more and more and more. And all of those are now there. So it's really good. It feels fantastic, the game. I encourage everyone to try it out. So if you're here at Gamescom, so you can do it in the EA booth on the show floor. So you can try both draft and normal kickoff, normal gameplay. But it's fantastic. And outside this, so we were talking just a piece of this. So we're introducing other new ways to play, like women's football. So we have 12 national team. It's fantastic after the World Cup as well. There was, all the people watching that and really realizing that women's football is part of football as well.
Yeah, it was great because that was the announcement that actually led the announcement of FIFA 16 was the 12 women's teams. It's interesting with that. Is the gameplay different in any way for the?
It is.
Yeah. So
it is.
what are those kind of differences?
So I tell you primarily I think so. EA Sports FIFA is a celebration of the world of football. It's a celebration of football, and football is worldwide. Women's football is part of that, and that's why it must be there as well. But the amount of things that we did for doing it well, because that's how we like doing things. That's our aim is always doing it as perfect as we can. So what we did is we have audio, like the crowd, that we recorded specific women's matches to capture the crowd audio and put that into the game. Player calls, just the localization of the game. So English is primarily neutral. So the player, it works both for women and men. But if you check Portuguese, Spanish, French, it's gender specific.
Right,
so you have in Spanish, so I'm Spanish native speaker, it's
Of
el
course,
jugador
yeah.
for a man and la jugadora for female. So a lot of effort into localization wise. Imagine that we have a legacy of how many years of commentary that was almost 40% recording, 40% of all the assets again, just to be female specific. So we have in English as well, like she shoots, she passes, those kind of things. And like a commentary about talking players like Abby Wambach, like a really banter about the stuff. So that's just audio and localization. But then gameplay, the big discussion was our attributes. And the attributes, we decided, okay, women are just comparable with women, so we are not going to do a 94 Messi comparable to a 93 Alex Morgan. And based on that, so we went through every single component that we have on our gameplay systems, and so we used the necessary modifiers so gameplay feels authentic to women football as well. Like that, so women's football, you have much more space, it's less physical, and in general, so players tend to shoot high the ball because keepers are not as tall. So all those little nuances, if you try it out, you will feel it different. You will feel okay. It's much more authentic to women's football.
And the character models are different as well. They're very specific. They've been not modeled on the anatomy of women. It's rather than just like changing the heads on them.
No, absolutely. So we replaced, so we recreated a new player rig. So we have new body scaling technology. We optimized the rendering so we could do physics on the ponytails, because most of the players, female players, use ponytails. Yeah. So we have physics for each ponytail, which is it's fantastic, you know. And then we also capture the likeness of most of the players. It's a really a true representation of women's football, and I'm really proud of it. And the other big feature that I want to mention is a trainer. So we like people to get into the game, to learn the game faster, and even experienced people to learn new ways of how to perform the game. There is a trainer. Okay, the game.
We saw it a bit earlier as well. It's kind of an overlay that shows you in that moment what your options are as a player.
It's showing you some of the options, because FIFA has more than 70 different controls that you can perform, or combinations that you can perform. So what we do with that, so we did a lot of research. So it was, what is the best way to learn how to play FIFA? Is you and I sitting on the same couch, and so you tell me what to do, or you tell me what are my options. That's how we got inspired for building a trainer. So it's not an avatar, but it's just giving you options of what you could do in that context. And while you successfully perform those actions, it's starting to show you more complex and complex options. And if you're an experienced player, you can go and manually select what level of complexity you want, and I bet you will learn something that you didn't know.
That's great. It's a really cool addition. Thank you so much for showing us some of the big changes coming in FIFA. For more on FIFA and from Gamescom in general, stay right here on IGN.
This Gamescom edition of GameScoop is presented by Hitman Agent 47, in theaters August 21st.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to part one of our Gamescom wrap-up. I'm Damon Hadfield. Joining me here in Germany are Brandon Tyrell.
Howdy.
Daniel Krupa. Hello. Of course, Max Scoville.
How's it going?
Gentlemen, how is your show going?
Very well.
Yeah?
Yeah, lots of great games on the show floor. Lots of great games, you know, behind closed doors demos.
Lots of people.
Lots of people.
Too many people, if anything.
At the show.
This is a big show. This is a very large show. It's impressive.
Now, I know there are 2 days of the show left. Is it too early to name Schnitzel of the show?
Oof.
I think if I have any more Schnitzel of the show, I will just die.
Really?
I think I will be dead.
I don't know. I think
I
you can handle some more.
It's fried
find
pork.
out.
It's a keel over.
It's good for you. We're going to talk about some of the biggest games we've seen so far. Why don't we start with one of the games that was announced here at the show that I think you saw, Brandon, Mafia Trace. I think is the official,
Mafia Trace,
the official name for that one.
That is true. It is the Trace in the series. It is really, really interesting. I mean, Mafia has always been sort of about that Goodfellas kind of crime family. And Mafia 3 is totally rewriting the script on it. It's set in 1968 in the developer's version of New Orleans, so in the South. And it stars Lincoln Clay, who is a Vietnam War veteran and an orphan and half black and half white in a very racist part of the country in a very racist time period. So he's, doesn't have a lot going for him, right? And he comes back, gets in with a gang. There's some gang warfare, and he loses the family that he created already. So now he's sort of on a rampage, as they say, and now he's rebuilding the mafia in the South.
And so is he starting his own mafia? Or
Yeah,
is he joining an existing mafia.
Well, so he's sort of taking up the reins. He goes on a rampage and takes out the mob that took out his mob, right? And that kind of creates a power vacuum. And so
I got to talk to studio head on this one too, or the creative director, whatever. And I'm really impressed. It looks really interesting. I mean, it's the